What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Fargo, and for a long time, people have been requesting to put a brilliant CTP of Destruction on Doom to see how well he can do. Well, I ended up doing this because I was facing Mephisto, and when I reached stage 55, I actually needed supervillain males. And to be perfectly frank with you guys, Doom is the kingdom come here for this. Cole Obsidian is super strong, but the fact that he's a combat type and this high a level, it's very, very hard for him. And honestly, none of these other villains can really get it done in this high a level against Mephisto. Maker kind of has the same problem. He really isn't strong enough, to be honest, either. But the fact that he's a combat, he just has that disadvantage against Mephisto, and it's very, very hard. Doom really is the kingdom come. I mean, the guy, honestly, I still think this is really the best character just all around in the game. He's just godly. And the nice thing is you do get to use Cyclops in the Phoenix 5 uniform, which is awesome. And I do have a CTP of Insight on him. And I do have a CTP of Insight on Taskmaster, but only one of them is going to get applied at a time. And of course, you want Taskmaster for the damage to super villains. Now, you don't need a brilliant CTP of Destruction to do this. You do not need to do it. Free-to-play Adventures, shout out to Free-to-play Adventures, put out a video not too long ago of Doom doing stage 55 with a mighty CTP of Destruction. So you don't need a brilliant. And with Doom, it really just depends on your runs. It really depends on how much damage you're actually taking from the third skill, and if you're landing your procs completely on the tier 3 after taking damage. Those things are super, super important. Luckily against Mephisto, it's not really that difficult to take damage because he has so much chip damage. More than likely, he's going to hit you, and he's going to debuff you, which is really good for Doom because Doom actually gets the extra decreased damage received, which makes him very tanky against Mephisto, which is really nice, but it also increases his chain hit damage, increasing his damage. Doom will just do a lot better in the leadership. I've proven this over and over again, whether it was against Null, and obviously whether it's against Mephisto. It's just better to use his debuff leadership, right? That debuff leadership will also prevent him from getting stunned whenever Mephisto's slamming his fists down. I mean, Doom's just awesome. He's just awesome. And the cool thing is, I do have his type enhancement up at rank 5, so I am getting some extra damage to speed types by 17.5%, and that does help. But I don't have any Odin's Blessings on him. Now, that was one difference between, this run and free-to-plays, is he was using some Odin's Blessings, which is great. But I don't have any on Doom. I'm probably going to end up putting some on him. And I'm actually going to show you guys a run against stage 56. As far as the full build, he's got 52,000 energy attack. I do have 25% Pierce. By the way, that's another thing. You don't even need 25% Pierce with Doom, or even when you're using a Mighty Destruction, or maybe even using a Mighty CTP of Energy. I'm not sure how the energy would work, but I know the CTP of Destruction, a Mighty CTP of Destruction with 22% Pierce, and you got like 110, 120% energy attack, more than likely you're going to be able to get it done at stage 55, which is just, it's just godly, guys. I mean, everything's pretty much maxed out except for critical rate, right? He even has a lot of dodge, which is great. And again, no Odin's Blessings, just some mythic energy attack Urus. Of course, all of his skills are at 6. And I am changing the rotation a little bit compared to what I normally do. Normally, whenever I play Doom, I usually just like to go 4-2-3-1, or I'm sorry, 4-2-1-3, right? Just like this, right? And then in the next rotation, and you want your SFX on when you're playing with Doom, I would go 4-5, let it zoom in, then 2-1-3, and then tier 3, right? But you'll find sometimes that you can't really go into the tier 3 right away. And you'll also find, if you go into your tier 3 and Mephisto's in that phase where he's kind of got that circular flame around him, he will kill you. I mean, even if your debuff is up from Doom and he's got that extra decreased damage received, Doom can still die. Now, he does have a revive, which is, big thumbs up. It really, really helps because it gives you a second chance to get it done. But he can die very, very easy. He's in those phases against Mephisto. Any character can. It's just, except for maybe Emma. Emma's about the only one that has that huge decreased damage received by 85% that really makes her super tanky. But Doom, he can die. So you got to be really, really careful of that. So whenever you just use a different rotation where you're going 4-5 and then 2-1-3, you actually can see Doom and you can move him around because his third skill is a movable skill. That really, really helps. And you'll actually find that if you do that, you're actually going to deal a lot of damage. In this run, you will see him do quite a bit of damage without using his tier 3. I mean, he'll actually take a few bars down without even using his tier 3. Right? But the reason I'm going to play him the way that I'm going to play him is to hopefully land the proc more often on the tier 3. Because the way that I normally play him it just seems like I was doing a little bit less damage. And the way that I'm going to show you, I did a little bit more damage. Now, this isn't a perfect run, guys. I woke up in the morning. I did the run. Pretty tired when I did it. So it isn't perfect by any means, but we will get it done. And he's got a fully awakened Power of Angry Hawk set. And he does have the brilliant CTP of energy. And even if you do miss your 230% proc or miss your actual damage proc on your skill, you still get the increased damage to boss types. So if you're using a mighty CTP of destruction instead of a brilliant, you're still going to have the increase to boss types by whatever percent. And that's still going to last that entire 5-second duration. So even if you miss your proc, it will work. And by the way, even though it seems like you're going to use a lot of your strike proc whenever you're going through your skills, like when you do the 4-5 and he zooms in, you're actually only losing about a second of it. So it's not too bad at all. And he does have a mythic uniform. I mean, my Doom is set up pretty well. I'll probably end up slapping some Odin's Blessings on him. It's getting to the point where we're getting so high against Mephisto that I'm going to have to, because I want to use this guy all the way to stage 59, but I really don't think I need to, in all honesty, guys. With the Brilliant, I just don't think I need to. So I'll go ahead and bring up that run for you all so you can watch this. This is pretty cool. All right, this is stage 56. I cleared stage 55 yesterday, but I wanted to go ahead and push it a little bit further and just go ahead and do stage 56 for you all. And like I said, you'll do 4-5, let it zoom in, and 2-1-3. And you saw, I mean, guys, he will do some serious damage, right? And I do 4-5, 2-1-3 again, right? Okay. We'll take him down. Now, it does suck he's got that long cooldown on that 5th skill. But I'm telling you, man, I really find that I do a lot more damage the way that I'm playing him against Mephisto. I think it's just because the way Mephisto is, the way he's set up, his animations. Like, you really need to time things properly in order to take this boss down. Because, man, his damage is just nuts. I missed my 4 there, but that's all right. I hit my tier 3 late. That was a consequence of doing this when I was actually really tired. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. And whenever you have like 40% on your tier 3, I mean, you can obviously go in your tier 3. I feel like I wasted my tier 3 right there because we only need to do a little bit of damage. I actually would have been better off if we just went 4-5, 2-1-3. But it is what it is. You know, you're not always going to have a perfect run. But look at the damage you're doing, guys. Was that like 4 bars right there? That's without using a tier 3. I mean, Doom, if you incorporate the 5th skill with taking damage from the 3rd, he's still going to do some insanity as far as damage. I mean, look at that. Right? Well, there we hit our tier 3. Something else is, whenever you do 4-5, 2-1-3, you're going to have a lot of lingering damage from the 5th skill. And a lot of times in the next rotation, it'll actually set off the proc. Now, this is actually, normally I don't like this, but it's actually a good thing for Doom, because if it does set off the proc, you can actually look at your proc in the top left-hand corner, see where it's timed at, and you can actually go into your tier 3 and put your proc on your tier 3 very easily, because remember, when the proc cools down, when it finishes, you're going to have 2 more seconds before the proc can actually start again. So you can actually use your 4-5 during that, right at that time period, and then go into your 4-5, 2-1-3, tier 3, and land your proc every single time. That's another thing about doing it the way that I'm doing. I mean, look at the damage, guys. Look at the damage. Right? That's nutty. That is nutty. Godly power. Okay? And, you know, whenever you have, like, a higher percentage on your tier 3, it's going to be a lot easier to go into it. Like, right now, it's at 73%. So I could easily go into it a lot easier. Now, there, my 5th skill actually got canceled, which sucks. So I lost a bit of damage right there. That actually sucked. Because you really want all that lingering damage from that 5th skill. So I got screwed right there. But I just love that Doom is immovable during that 3rd skill. It really gets him out of danger. And honestly, on top of the heal from his 5th skill, and on top of the decreased damage received whenever he's debuffed, I mean, his survivability with the movable skill is just, it's really nuts, right? And also with the revive. I mean, the guy is just nuts. Now, right now, what you could do, if you're willing to use some of your characters as fodder, is you could just, you know, run into a tornado, maybe run into some toxic meteorites, get that debuff up, and then just go straight into your skills, right? Because what you can do is you can actually take damage from Mephisto whenever he's slamming his fist down. As long as your debuff is up, you won't get stunned, right? I mean, I could have played this better, in all honesty. There, I hit my tier 3 way late, but look at the damage. Pretty damn good damage, right? Would have been better if I would have put the proc on the tier 3 instead of, you know, doing it late. All right, all right. Run around. Another thing about Doom is just his movement speed. It's nuts, man. The character can run. Well, float, I guess I should say. Now there you see me just hit the 2-1-3. I could have went into my tier 3, right? But I was afraid maybe I wouldn't put the proc where it belongs. Now you see the proc landed, right? You see that countdown 3, 2, 1, right? Now I could go ahead and go into my skills and try to attack Mephisto, but I am playing it a little bit safe, right? You really want to take advantage of using Doom's debuff whenever he's in the leadership, because you won't get stunned, guys. That debuff lasts a long time. I think like 18 seconds. So you don't have to worry about getting stunned whenever as long as that debuff is up, you don't have to worry about getting stunned when you're doing your tier 3 or using your third skill. And even if you are using your third skill, you can still, run away from Mephisto even if your debuff isn't up. Oh yeah, and it's over, guys. So, I mean, 25 seconds to spare. Stage 56 could have been a better run, guys. There was a couple missed procs in there, but it just goes to show you how strong Doom is. And again, you don't need a brilliant CTP obstruction to do this. You don't. I mean, I went ahead and put it on him just to show you guys the damage that he could do with the thing, because it was a huge request from a lot of players out there. But he doesn't really need it. He's so strong that even in stage 55... 56, I mean, if you got, good enough cards, even with 22% Pierce, this character can absolutely get it done. Like, there's not very many characters that are going to do that kind of damage. There's just very, very little. I mean, he really is the epitome of God. And the crazy thing is, we really want stronger characters so we can push even higher, right? Because against Ultron, I mean, Doom in stage 25, 29, on my account, no. Like, I didn't try him with a brilliant CTP of destruction, but yeah, I don't think so. It's just so hard, and that just goes to show you how much of a stronger power creep we actually need in this game to be able to push those world bosses even higher. But let me know what y'all think about Doom getting it done against stage 56 Mephisto. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.